Hello everyone, my name is Yatin Gupta and I welcome you all to my channel Double E Concepts. So we were discussing about the basics of network theory. So this is the part 4 of that same series in which I will cover three topics today. The first one is the Kirchhoff's voltage law, that is KVL. Second is Kirchhoff's current law, KCL. And then we'll see the connection of voltage and current sources. Okay, so let us begin today's lecture with our first topic, which is Kirchhoff's current law. Okay, so by the definition we say that the algebraic sum of all the currents that are either coming or leaving the node is equal to 0. Okay, so the figure that you see here, this center point here is called a node of a circuit. I'll discuss more about what is node and what type of nodes that we see in a circuit, but for the time being you just consider that this is a node here, and you can also see some directions of currents. These are 4 branches here, and you can see some currents are entering the node and some currents are leaving the node. So there are certain rules that you apply while you are applying the KCL on a certain node in a circuit. So you should always follow these same rules everywhere. So the first rule is all the outgoing currents, or we can say which are going away from the node, will be considered as the positive currents, and all the incoming currents or the currents that are coming towards the node will be considered as the negative currents. Okay, so there is no pressure on you. You can consider the opposite way also. You can consider the outgoing currents as negative and incoming currents as positive. But in my calculations, the calculations that I will do in the upcoming lectures, I will always consider this particular way. Okay, so by this we can say that this I1 and this I2 are coming toward the node. Okay, so these are called the incoming currents. So I have already told you that I will consider these currents as negative current. So that's why I have written minus I1 minus I2, and I3 and I4 are going away from the node. So these are outgoing currents. So that's why I have written them as plus I3 and plus I4. And by the KCL we say that the sum of all these currents will always be equal to 0. So this is how we write the KCL equation. Now let us come to the next topic, which is Kirchhoff's voltage law, or KVL. By the definition we say that the algebraic sum of the voltage drop or either rise, either the voltage will drop and either the voltage will rise in a circuit. So that drop or rise, the sum of that drop or rise in a closed loop will always be equal to 0. So here also I will follow some certain conventions that I will always follow while I'll be solving a circuit using KVL. So all the potential rise will be considered as positive. So how do we consider this? In this particular circuit here, if I apply KVL, so I will always start from the ground point, the reference point. So this is the ground here, the reference. So while going from ground, there is a battery that is in the way, and this is the polarity of the battery. So right now I'm going from negative to positive. Okay, so I will always consider this as a voltage rise, and I have already said that all the potential rise I will consider them as positive. So that's why in the KVL equation I have written it as plus V, not minus V. Now if I go further in this circuit, I will go through this resistance drop. Okay, so the polarity here is plus to minus. I'm going from plus to minus. That means there is a potential drop in my circuit, and that I will consider as negative. So that's why I have written it as minus I into R1. And similarly for R2 also, this is going from plus to minus. So again minus I into R2, and that will be equal to 0, because we have said that in a closed loop the sum of all voltage drops or rises, it will be always equal to 0. So this is how we apply the KVL in a circuit. Okay, now coming to the next topic, which is the connection of these sources. So there may be two type of sources in your circuit, that may be a voltage source or maybe a current source. and there can be a series connection or a parallel connection of either voltage or current sources. So let us see that how do we deal with these kind of situations. Okay, so in an electric circuit, various voltage current sources are present, and to reduce the circuit by using some laws related to the series parallel connection of voltage and current sources. So basically with these combination of series and parallel current and voltage sources, what we try to do, we try to reduce the circuit to its minimal form, okay, so that the calculation can become easier for us. So if I first talk about the first series connection of voltage sources, so we can say that in this figure here, you can see two voltage sources with a certain polarity. Okay, so if the two voltage sources V1 and V2 are connected in series and having additive polarities, what do you mean by additive polarities? That while I am applying KVL in this circuit, for both the voltage sources V1 and V2, either I am going from minus to plus in both the cases, or if I am going in the reverse direction, I am going plus to minus in both the direction. That means the polarity is same in both the voltage sources. So that will be called additive polarities. Okay, so what we can do, we can replace this arrangement by a single voltage source which has the value of V1 plus V2. So all this branch can be replaced by this single voltage source which has the value V1 plus V2. And if the two sources have subtractive polarities, subtractive polarity means if you go in a certain direction, for one particular voltage source you will go from plus to minus, but for the other one in the same direction you will go from minus to plus. So that is what we call subtractive polarity. So this type of voltage series connection, we can replace it by a single voltage source which has the value V1 minus V2. Okay, so this is for the additive polarity and this one is for the subtractive polarity. All right, now the second one is the parallel connection of voltage sources. Now if the two voltage sources V1 V2 are connected in parallel, then their voltage values has to be the same, because in parallel connection voltages are always same. You will never see that if two branches are connected in parallel, the whole voltage across these two branches will be different. You will never see that. The voltage at both the branches has to be equal if they are connected in parallel. So if this is V1 and this is V2, I can say that V1 is equal to V2. Okay, and let me come to the next one, which is the series connection of current sources. Now if two current sources are connected in series like this shown in figure, we can replace this arrangement by a single current source having the value of I, which is equal to I1 or I2. So this whole arrangement can be replaced by a single current source which has the value I1 equal to I2. Okay, so you will never see two different value of current sources in series, because in series current is always same. You cannot have two current values in a single branch. All right, and the fourth one is the parallel connection of current sources. Okay, now if two current sources having values I1 and I2 and they are connected in parallel in the same direction, then we can replace this arrangement by a single current source having the value I1 plus I2. How? Let's see. In this figure, this is I1, this is I2, right? So this I1 is delivering some current. This second current source is also delivering some current. So at this point here, the addition of both of these current is reaching, right? So what I can do, I can replace this whole arrangement by a single current source which has the value I1 plus I2. So that will be the same thing. Okay, and we also say that if the direction of currents are opposite in both the branches, then we replace it by I1 minus I2. Why? Because let's just say this I1 is this current source is delivering a current of I1. Okay, so I1 is going towards this terminal. Okay, and now this second current source is consuming some current from it. So I1 is going this side, okay, which is delivering some current to the terminal, and I2 is consuming something from it. So I have to subtract this I2 from I1, which is actually the current reaching this terminal, this particular branch here. So I can replace this arrangement by a single current source by having a value of I1 minus I2. Okay, so this is about the connection of voltage and current sources in series and parallel. Now coming to the next topic, let me discuss about what is branches and what is nodes. Okay, so what are branches? Each element in a circuit is considered as a branch. So whether it is a resistance or an inductor or a capacitor, voltage source, current source, anything, every element in circuit will considered as a branch. Now if two elements are connected in series, then the combination of both is also called a branch. For example, this single resistance here is a branch, okay, and this resistance here is also a branch, B2 and B3, and this series connection of this V1 and this resistance here is also a branch because they are in series with each other. So this whole combination is also a branch here. Now coming to the next topic, which is the node. So what is a node? When two or more than two circuit elements are connected together, their common point of connection is called a node. For example, this voltage source V1 and this resistance is connected with each other, okay, and their connection point is this. So this point here will considered as a node. Okay, so there are two types of node in any circuit. So you can see that two nodes are mentioned here in this circuit. The one is simple node and the other one is principal node. So what is a simple node? When only two elements are connected with each other. So you can clearly see that V1 and this resistance are connected together, which is only two. So this node that is created here is called the this is called the simple node. There is a correction here. I have written principal node here, but it is actually the simple node. Let me just correct it for you. Okay, now it looks good. So this node here is a simple node, and at this node you can see more than two elements are connected. See, this is one element which is branch B2. This is another element which is branch B3, and this is the third element which is branch B1. So B1, B2, B3, three branches are connected together, and it is forming a node here. Okay, this is the common point of all these three branches. So I'll call this node a principal node, not a simple node. Okay, so this is how we differentiate between these two type of nodes, which is simple and principal node. Okay. Alright guys, so that's all for this lecture. I will see you in the next one. Thank you very much.